Well, hey church, this is Pastor Craig again, and with me today I have an extremely hot commodity, and I'm willing to sell it to the highest bidder. I'm only kidding, of course. But literally minutes before we filmed this today, my wife texted me and said, "Honey, I found toilet paper." And we were so excited. I mean, who would have thought that our lives would have changed so drastically in the course of just a couple months? And many of us, let's be honest, we avoid change. And a lot of us are going through changes that are much more painful than not finding toilet paper on the shelves at our local store. For some of you, you have loved ones who are in the hospital and you're unable to visit them right now. Still others of you are actually mourning the loss of loved ones. And still others are dealing with job losses and increasing uncertainty right now. And many of us are asking this question, why? Why? It doesn't seem to make sense. You know, the Apostle Paul was writing the book of Philippians and other what we call prison epistles while he was in chains in Rome. And he was probably asking the same question. Why? Because God had chosen him to be the guy to take the message of Jesus beyond the Jewish people to the rest of the world. And it didn't make sense for him to be in chains. But he made the difficult daily decision to trust God in the midst of the pain. And he began to share the message of Jesus with every Roman guard that he was chained to, which, by the way, was for hours at a time. Talk about a captive audience. And it just so happened that each Roman guard was a part of Caesar's personal palace guard. Listen to this in verse 12 of the first chapter. He says, "I want you to know, brothers, that what has happened to me has really served to advance the gospel, so that it has become known throughout the whole imperial guard and to all the rest that my imprisonment is for Christ." As we read, this imprisonment gave Paul a unique opportunity to get the message of Jesus to the highest levels of authority in Rome, which was Caesar himself. And this eventually led, hundreds of years later, to Rome becoming a completely Christian nation. You know, Paul may not have recognized the full extent of what God was doing in the midst. He didn't know the question maybe fully to the why that he was asking, but he did believe that God always had a purpose in the middle of his pain. And it was true for Paul then, and it's true for us today. You know, as our lives are rearranged and we're going through changes that we might not have chosen, we have opportunities to love people in unique ways. Our neighbors have needs that weren't there just months ago, and we can serve them and be the hands and feet of Jesus in very practical ways. We can even strengthen relationships that maybe we haven't had time for before, but now we have all the time in the world. You know, church, we love you, we miss you dearly, and we are praying for you. We can't wait till we can meet again. We'll see you soon.